Black Ops 6 has a huge problem and nobody is talking about it until this video. You see, I was originally planning on making a very different video than this today. I was going to make a video comparing and contrasting weekend 1 and weekend 2 of the Black Ops 6 beta. And I actually have that video ready. If you guys want to see it, maybe just hit the like button on this video. If this video gets, let's say, like 1,000 likes today, I will upload that video today. Otherwise, it'll go live tomorrow. But as far as this big problem that I'm talking about, I guarantee you or a friend or someone that you know that plays Call of Duty has dealt with this exact problem. And it hit me hard this weekend with weekend 2 of the beta. Let me actually show you a clip from the live stream that I did over on Twitch on Friday. You guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Excuse me? How do I still get that kill? I'm dead. Oh, I heard about that leg from season 4. But yeah, I don't think I played during any of that crazy lag that people got. I just want to get one more sleeper agent. My bullets just aren't registering. So packet burst, high latency, connectivity issues is a huge problem in Black Ops 6. And I actually have quite a big solution for it. And some of you aren't going to like it. But before I get to the solution, I first have to explain to you where this problem comes from and why it's going to only become a bigger problem with Black Ops 6. So during Modern Warfare 2, I had a very different office than I have now. You see, at that point, I was essentially too loud for everyone else in the house, so I was forced to move my office out into the garage, which I took as an opportunity to build my very own office. I started with a garage, built some new walls, put in some soundproofing, and built the office that you see here today. Now, the one problem with this office is I had no way of hardwiring an internet line into my office, which meant I had to run literally everything, whether I am streaming, uploading videos, or simply playing Call of Duty off of Wi-Fi. Now, that wasn't a really big issue because I have pretty good internet. However, when Modern Warfare 3 was released, I was playing a lot of Warzone and playing a lot of Modern Warfare Zombies, and especially in those modes with the bigger maps, I was getting so much packet burst and so much high latency that my game was almost unplayable, to the point where I almost completely stopped playing Warzone. I moved on to multiplayer, and slowly the issue became bigger and bigger, and to the point where I was very confused because other people were getting this as well. Especially in multiplayer in Season 4 of Modern Warfare 3, it was to the point where people were quitting the game because of this issue. And I figured it was server side, it was with the servers that Call of Duty was using, but as it turns out, it is something much easier to fix. Now, if you're like me and you have had this issue, you have probably tried everything to fix it. I've tried every setting imaginable in-game, messing with my router settings, trying to change the frequency that my router actually works on, and for days it'll be like, okay, this is actually getting a little bit better. As it turns out, that is just because some days are going to be worse and some days are going to be better than others when this issue happens. I don't fully understand the reason for that, but some internet technician out there who is watching this video, you can try to explain that down in the comments. But what I'm saying is I have tried everything. Now, on said Friday that we were talking about on the live stream, that is where you were seeing this gameplay from. I was having constant packet bursts, constant high latency. I essentially couldn't even play the game. So I said enough is enough. I need to get to the bottom of this, and I know other people are having this problem. And I spoke to some people and they said that they were having the same issue. On the weekend 2 of the beta, everyone else's connection seemingly got better. Desync in game got better, hit detection got better, but for some reason, certain people, the game just got much worse. And I wanted to figure out why. Now, actually, last night I was talking to a friend who works in internet, and I was explaining to him this issue and trying to understand why it actually happens, and he kind of gave me a way to explain it to everyone that would kind of make sense for everyone. You see, packet burst as a whole is essentially the biggest issue with lag in Call of Duty, and the reason for that is all of the information that they have is essentially sent out on one frequency, and depending which frequencies your Wi-Fi uses, this issue is going to be worse for some people than others. But essentially what happens is your router kind of gets this information from the Call of Duty servers and tries to send it to your PC, to your PS5, but it is sent in these packets. And the larger and more information that is put into these packets, when it sends to your PC or sends to your console, it shoots it all at once, can't totally be understood, and because of those different frequencies, it's all jumbled up and lag happens. The more complex the packets they are sending, the more complex the issue is on your end. That is a very layman's way of explaining it. There's a lot more technical jargon to do with it, but just for a basic understanding, that's what's going to happen. And as more weapons and more items and more textures and things like that are added to the game, the bigger an issue this is going to be. So for a person like me, who has never had a problem with their internet uploading videos, live streaming, or for that matter, playing any other video games, it's something to do with the way that the Call of Duty servers handle their data transfer through routers that make more people have this problem. And there's a solution. So what I essentially did is my router is located on the opposite end of my house. I had to run an internet line through my basement, out underneath the storage room, out a vent outside, into my garage and into my office. I hooked up this to my router inside my office and hooked up 2 Ethernet cables, and my lag in Call of Duty was almost completely gone. I went from getting packet bursts probably about 100 times in one game of multiplayer to 3 times in a 3-hour live stream. My kill death almost doubled, and the game was about 100 times more enjoyable. Now, here is the issue. Even with doing this, I still get packet bursts. Not a lot, but here and there I do. I've seemingly avoided all of the high and low latency things that pop up, but the packet burst is still there, and it's not a problem with my internet speed. It's not a problem with my setup, my computer. It is a problem with the game. And on top of all of this, not everyone is going to be able to do what I did. Hook up a giant, like literally 100-foot coaxial cable to their router in their office, or send a 100-foot Ethernet cable all the way through their house, or maybe they live in an apartment building and that is not possible whatsoever. And it's also dependent on what equipment you are using. So depending on the frequency that your router sends to your actual PC or actual PS5, the amount of packet burst and the amount of lag is going to be different based off of that. Internet connection speed doesn't matter for this. So you could pay $1,000 a month in internet or 5. It is not going to make a difference. It has to do with your router, and on top of that, what frequency it's being sent, and on top of that, your PC and the frequency that it is receiving it on. And yes, it's often much worse on PC than it is on consoles. So I have 2 fixes for you. Fix number 1, giant internet cable, hook it up to your PC or PlayStation or Xbox, whatever you're using. It's almost going to completely get rid of that packet burst altogether, and it is the easiest and best way to actually fix this. Option number 2, if you can't do that, this is worse on older routers. The newer your router, the more likely you will be to not have this problem. But it can still happen. And most of us, if not all of us, are not going to be able to figure out how to switch your frequency, how to pick the right one. You're literally going to have to hire someone who works with internet. Now, to be clear, this shouldn't be an issue at all. This has to do with how Call of Duty processes their textures and their bandwidth and everything else that they are sending out, and a bunch of information that I can't understand. This is on their end. Yes, it's because of what you have set up on yours, but they are producing the game and they should be making it accessible for everyone, no matter whether you're playing on Wi-Fi, hardwired, console, PC. That is their job. And over the past year, I've had this issue the entire year, and I know many other people have as well. And it is going to continue in Black Ops 6 and only get worse, because as they implement more texture streaming and more details and more weapons and more things that your internet has to process, this is going to be amplified. And for some reason, it is just in Call of Duty that has this major issue. So if you can, hook up an Ethernet cable. If you can't, have a newer router. And if you can't do that, you are just going to have to suffer like I did for the previous year. But I wanted to bring some attention to this because it is a big issue, and for a long time I just remained silent because I thought it was either my PC, my internet, and there was nothing I could do for it. Turns out there was something I could do for it, and I wanted to be able to help out anyone else who is having this issue, because it's only going to get worse, and I hope The ideal solution is that Call of Duty can fix this on their end. But the truth is, I don't think they will, so I'm offering you some solutions. Hopefully this could help. That's all the info that I have on this one. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on, all of that kind of jazz. I have many more Call of Duty videos coming out, but I know this was different, but I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars.